Wow. Someday I'd like to be as cool as Ida the Owl Lady. Magical, sassy, surprisingly foxy for her age. Hey, why do they call you the Owl Lady anyway?
Because I'm so wise.
Cause she coughs up rat bones!
Hi, I'm Bear King of the Bear, and I do bear things. Let's get something right out of the way. This show is absolutely fantastic, and if you like cartoons, then you'll like this show. That's not what this video essay is about. There are tons of fantastic options for you out there if you like to watch animated media, so this is why you should watch Owl House right now. If you haven't heard of it, I don't blame you, but mostly because I don't hear about things either. I sort of osmose them passively ever so often and then leap upon them and finish them in a single afternoon. And the Owl House was no different. It's very new. But if your YouTube recommended feed is anything like mine, you've seen clips here and there, you accidentally got dragged into a 10-minute Lumity compilation, and now the Owl House is the only thing YouTube thinks you care about. Which is not far from accurate. Let's begin. The Owl House is a show that disrespects its main character so thoroughly in every single episode at every opportunity it can. How so? Well, let's see. Who do you think the main character is? You have 5 seconds to guess. Did you guess this one? This one? Well, you're wrong. It's this one. It's in the name of the show. The show is called The Owl House. Not The Owl Lady, not The Apprentice Witch. The Owl House. Where's the respect? Where's the respect for my man Hootie? How you gonna do him like that, huh? So let's break down the story for the newbies and the old bees who just like to relive the fantasy of watching the show again for the first time. The story follows our little 14-year-old Lady Luce, whose character design is summed up by the lowercase c colon face, enthusiastic gremlin energy, and an unstoppable force of sunshine and curiosity. She's whisked away with the garbage and lands in the magical realm. The Demon Realm, specifically the Boiling Isles, which is separated from typical magical girl fantasy by the fact that it is metal as hell, built in the bones of a long-dead titan who's worshipped like a god, where instead of weather they get plagues, like boiling rain, shale hail, and more. There she meets the ideal role model, Ida Clawthorne, whose character design is owl, lesbian, anti-establishmentarianism, and is the second character whose mouth shape is powerful enough to be a character trait in itself. Ida also lives with King, who appears to be, for all intents and purposes, just your average everyday cat, if given the ability to voice their thoughts, which he frequently does.
I've been waiting to use this. Meow meow.
It's hideous!
Luce falls in love immediately with the magical nature of everything, because who wouldn't, and gets Ida to train her to be a witch. Ida happens to be the most powerful witch on the Isles, as well as the most wanted criminal on the Isles. Luce eventually becomes interested in magic school, where she meets magic lesbians, and Gus, who is one of Titan's gifts to this plane.
Almost got it.
I am free! Bat Queen, you won't know the day you tried to trap.
From there, we get to learn about Ida's dark secrets and past, explore Luce's relationships with her new friends, and watch her go from apprentice to daughter, and figure out what the hell is the deal with this frickin' guy. I mean, for real?
Just a moment, Lilith.
When talking about cartoons like these that are very clearly intended for a young audience, there are a few different pieces that underlay the overall enjoyment, at least for me. I would say you could break them down into the unique, interesting concept, the animation quality, the lovability of the characters, the humor, the voice acting, the universality of the humor, the romantic subtext, and the serious story, which arises after enough time in every single one of these cartoons. The part that makes you go, this is for kids? Where suddenly, in a typically lighthearted and fun show, you're dealing with huge themes like abuse, or character death, some sort of major decisions, petrification, more often than you'd expect, and other deeply dramatic things. Now, I don't know why these are the major things that seem to constitute the quality of a show, but can't argue with the results. Now, in the Owl House, I can 100% say that every one of these boxes is ticked with furious ink, but what I want to call attention to is the last one. One of the things that hooked me about the Owl House is that the serious story never seems too far away. In other similar shows, they like to play in the space of soft and fun for a while, before gathering the pieces over time for some truly heart-wrenching terror of some kind. The Owl House, befitting its more grim dark nature, has no problem tackling these sorts of things pretty early. I mean, we're in the first season, and there's this frickin' guy. Hell, the first bad guy Luce and Ida really face is this terrifying sumbitch, and that's the first goddamn episode. This show goes hard in the paint. It just does. Now, there's a kind of realism in the writing. The characters interact in a way that is, well, mostly for humor, but despite that, all of them are so carefully balanced and realistic. Ida is a powerful loner on the fringe of society who runs a scam shop, loves garbage, and disrespects authority like it's no one's business, but she's still such an aggressively pleasant person. As much as she has in common with Grunkle Stan, who is a fantastic character, she's so kind and empathetic. Luce is the same. Though she has a somewhat stereotypical, eager passion for all the things of life, she doesn't really have the corresponding, characteristic obliviousness to the situations of others. Except for Amity.
It's okay. What if I went to Grom with you instead? Really? That's what friends do.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I come to talk with you again.
But there's a real focus on emotional intelligence in this show, in a quiet sort of way, which is honestly the biggest selling point for me. When you put it all together, the show flows so smoothly. It challenges, but in a comfortable way. The world is so interesting and gets more interesting every episode, and all of the characters are a delight to see working with each other. The writing is smart and funny, and the character of the show is so clear and colorful that it is so much fun to cuddle up with a warm blanket and watch. And just look at this face. Oh my god. In conclusion, you should watch The Owl House. In seclusion, you should secretly watch The Owl House. In inclusion, you should do whatever makes you happy, because you deserve to be happy. And I think there's a good chance that's The Owl House. Thanks for paying attention to my face for long enough for me to make a few points. If you liked anything about this video essay, please consider becoming one of my best friends, or failing that, subscribing to my channel. You can like or dislike the video as well, and if you disliked it, I'd love to hear from you about why in the comments section. I make an effort to reply to all comments. Bear King signing off, back to your regularly scheduled reality.